So lid goes on and voila, beautiful beef burger fit for a king. So come and join me in the kitchen. Welcome to the show. I got up nice and early this morning and headed out of the city and made my way down to Longwood, which is in the Strathbogie Ranges. This is where my auntie and uncle set up a beautiful little farm. So without further ado, Marg.
Hi Cam, how are you?
Not bad. And Simon, how you
Cam,
going?
good to see you.
Love your hat. Love your hat.
Thank you. This is a city boy trying to be a country boy. So, what have we got out in the fields at the moment?
Well, we've got lots of fruit on all our fruit trees and veggie gardens going berserk.
What about your olives, Simon?
The olives are ripening beautifully. We've got lots and lots of them, and the lambs are looking fantastic. Ready to give lamb.
Well, let's get out there and have a look at them then.
Okay, let's go. Thank you.
So this is our vegetable garden, which is covered to keep the birds out.
Very impressive.
So we have tomatoes, capsicums, eggplant, that's pumpkin, which is growing through the fence, and pumpkins are outside.
And you got some flowers on that as well.
Yes. And we've
very
got
impressive.
Jerusalem artichokes, basil, lemongrass, sage, lots of zucchini for you to use in. I
Yeah,
hope.
I think everything I need here. This is good. I won't need to nick down the shops today. This is all good.
Well, they are a bit far away, so you really do need to grow your own. So these are Golden Delicious. These are an eating apple, but they cook up quite well too. And they're a little bit overripe. You can see some of them have got quite a pink blush on them.
Yeah, I was
but-
wondering about
yeah.
that.
But they're beautiful.
They definitely,
Very
they look
crisp
like
and-
them, don't they?
Yeah, they're lovely. And we've had about 170 kilos off the Gravenstein tree, which have mostly been cooked up. That's what I make chutney and all sorts of things out of.
Okay, is that what we're going to be making cider out of later, or?
Yes, yes.
Beautiful.
Not technically a cider apple, but
If it
you
works.
can make cider from any apples, I think.
So I know you're pretty passionate about your olives. What's special about these ones here?
These are Frantoio, which we planted for oil. They're really good oil olives. In fact, Frantoio in Italian means oil machine.
Okay.
So they're also called paragons and things, but Frantoio is the Italian name for these olives. So we've got oil olives. We've got some Kalamata for pickling. We've got Corrigiola, are also good for oil, but we use them to pickle as well.
Well, these are obviously green olives, but do we have some black olives around as well, or?
Well, no, these are green olives, and they're unripe olives. The only difference between a green olive and a black olive is a black olive is ripe. So that if you want to pickle green olives, you pick them slightly unripe, and then you want to bake black olives, you pick them when they're ripe, so they've gone black. And as they blacken, they get a slight purple tinge to them, and then they get a bit darker and a bit darker and a bit darker and turn into black olives.
And they've got a completely different flavour. That's why I thought
Yeah.
they were different olives. But
Well, the green olive will be always much more astringent, because olives themselves, unless you pickle them, they're disgusting to eat. You
yeah,
can't-
no, I tried one earlier. I can vouch for that.
See, the dog did get in shot.
So while we've been having a bit of a wander around, someone's conveniently set up a little kitchen here for us. And you can see all our goodies that we've grabbed. And we're just going to do a Mediterranean lamb dish today.
Beautiful.
And to make it, you'll need 350 grams of diced lamb, an eggplant, zucchini, red capsicum, some beautiful olives. We're going to use some zucchini flowers just because they're in the garden. Some tomatoes. I've got some green and red ones here. The green ones will give it a little bit of bite. And we've got some parsley, basil and sage, or whatever you guys have got growing in your garden at home. So to get started, we need to seal our lamb off.
Bit of oil.
Extra virgin, of course.
Extra virgin olive oil, yes.
And in goes our
And
lamb.
goes the lamb.
So while that's happening, I might get onto some vegetables. This is one of the few times I don't start off a dish with onions and garlic.
Yeah.
It's good to mix it up.
I
every now and
always
then.
start off with onions and garlic.
It's a good base.
Then I think about what else I'm going to do.
while the smell's filling the house. There's something really magical about cooking things straight out of the garden, isn't
Oh,
there?
it's fantastic. I mean, the flavour just increases all the time.
So,
If zucchini.
as this goes, we'll just throw in all the ingredients.
Okay. It's
No
all browned
particular
up.
order. Yeah, it's getting some good colour on it. I'll get some salt and pepper in there as well, just to help bring out a bit of the juice. So is there something particularly special about this lamb?
This is we grow Dorper lambs, which are a particular type of sheep. First raised in South Africa. They're a cross between a Persian blackface and a Dorset horn. The beauty of them is that they're self-shedding, so you don't need to shear them.
Yep.
They're clean around the backside, so they don't get fly struck. They're very tough, and they're a meat sheep.
All right, so while that's going along nicely, I'll get you to start picking these tomatoes off and chucking them
Yep.
in.
So just chuck them in whole.
Yeah, just take the tops off
Yeah,
them.
yeah. Take the tops off them and just toss them in.
And we're going to get a really beautiful sweetness from the red ones and a bitterness from the green
Green
ones.
ones,
It's going
okay.
to give us a bit of diversity.
Yeah, I had never thought of using them green because you know you get sick of green chutney,
Yeah,
green
green-
tomato chutney,
Green
and
tomato,
stuff.
pickle and all
All
that.
that. But using them in that would be fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah, well, if you're going to cook them, then it gives it quite a unique flavour. But you've got to make sure you cook them really well,
right.
because they
Well,
do take a long time to break down.
Yeah,
So,
a bit like the olives that take when they're green, they take forever to pickle.
yeah, how much longer do green olives take them black?
They can be well, a black olive can be pickled in about a month to 2 months on average. Green olives can take anything up to a year, depending on how big they are.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, big difference. And what we do is we wash them in water for 10 days, which gets a lot of the phenolics out of them, and then we just put them in brine, about a 10% solution of brine. Change the brine every month or so. You just keep an eye on the brine.
Why do you need
because-
to change the brine?
Oh, because what happens with the olives is they absorb the salt out of the water, and that salt then is what's sweetening the olive itself. It's so the actual brine itself loses its
It's
strength, its potency.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you go from down to about 5%, and it's also keeping them alive from fermenting.
You still feel okay about us cooking your little babies in?
I have
our dish
no.
here?
I love eating them, so
Some people are a bit sensitive about their olives. They'd cringe if they saw them being cooked.
no. Cook them. I cook them. I cook with olives a lot, and I love the flavour that
Well,
they impart.
they do, yeah. They impart amazingly their flavour
Yeah.
into things. So, and especially with these, the reason why we haven't pitted them today is because there's not a whole lot of flesh on them in comparison to the size of the pit. So
yeah.
if we pitted them, we'd have no flesh left.
That's right.
This is coming along nicely though,
It's
isn't
coming
it?
along nicely. It
I
smells
think
fantastic.
I've put a bit more salt and pepper in there. The colours as well.
Yeah.
I reckon that 50% of food is what it looks
Oh,
like.
absolutely. Yeah.
So looks fantastic. So you can see here that this is all starting to evaporate, and that's just fat now. You can see it
Yeah.
coming
That's
out.
looking great.
Smells good, doesn't it?
And the fat gives the flavour. The beauty of the Dorper is that it's not a very fat sheep, so the fat layer on them is very fine,
Yep.
which is another good thing about them.
It's all good. All
Yeah.
good with the Dorper.
Yeah. Mind you, our sheep are as fat as pigs at the moment because there's so much feed around this year. It's unreal with the amount of grass and stuff we've got this year is totally different to the last 10.
Well, it beats being in a drought, doesn't it?
It is 100% better than being in a drought.
All right, well, let's break the drought in the pot as well then.
Okay,
We'll get this
how much?
water in there. Enough to cover it. Because we're going to just let this tick over slowly
Yep.
for about 45 minutes, I reckon.
Well, there's enough to
That's
cover
perfect,
it.
isn't it?
Yep, perfect.
And wait till this comes to the boil.
Yep.
Oh, you can stir it.
No, that's
I
all
won't-
right.
won't
No,
get into the
that's
job
fine.
there. And just let this come to the boil now, and then we'll put it to low, and then just let that tick away. And that's going to be absolutely stunning. I'm already excited. So it's been ticking away for 45 minutes now. You can see it's thickened up quite a bit. You can see that?
It's very nice.
Because with the
Lovely.
zucchini and the eggplant in there, that's what will break down and thicken this into a sauce. So no need for corn flour or any of that sort of business. All natural.
Yep.
So we've got our boiled rice here. We're quite generous with our lamb. So with this, depending on the heat, it can make quite a difference to your cooking time. But as long as this is your result and your lamb is nice and tender, should have a pretty good dish.
Yeah.
But,
In fact, I'm going to try a piece. Oh, look at this.
it'll be
Beautiful.
good to know before I get in.
Fantastic. Yeah.
The olives make a big difference, I reckon.
It's really nice. It's nice lamby.
olivey flavour. It's fantastic.
And stick around, guys, because after the break, we're going to make a beautiful Dayton apple chutney with Marg. It's worth waiting for.